So in this video, you guys, everybody who's been interested to go to Russia and study Russian, you have an excellent and I would say the best opportunity so far ever, partnership with you to a Moscow university to study Russian for 12 months and get a visa.
You will get the certificate of Russian language. Basically, this is the first option on how you can continue your life here in Russia. Here, that means that actually you can be enrolled to any bachelor's degree program in Russia having your Russian language certificate.
And I recommend anybody who's been thinking about this to grab this opportunity, because there's nothing else to be waiting for. This is it. This is like the greatest and the easiest way. But this is a great opportunity to connect with your girlfriend or boyfriend, start a life even. This is like the gateway to that. Those who want to just experience Russia for a longer time. And it's a great thing that you study Russian, because if you study Russian, you are able to see Russia in reality. Same thing with people. What's up, everybody? This is Igor in Russia. And as you may know, I've been collaborating with this Russian Moscow lawyers company, Braiden Consulting, and with Michael specifically. And he is here right now, first of all, to introduce himself, but to tell you something really, really interesting. Michael from Moscow lawyer, how you want to call yourself. Welcome to the channel.
Hello, Igor. Hello, everybody. Nice to be here. So yeah, my name is Michael, and this is Braiden Consulting law firm here. We're really excited to have another interview with you. So yeah, let's move on, right?
So in this video, you guys, everybody who's been interested to go to Russia and study Russian, you have an excellent and I would say the best opportunity so far ever. From this moment on, and you have to actually be quick. If I'm correct, Michael, people can actually apply through your partnership with you to a Moscow university to study Russian for 12 months and get a visa. Is this true, and how does this work?
Yes, that's true. This is the 12-month student visa. It is a Russian language course. So basically, let me just first explain the legal stuff, right? And then I'll tell you a few words about the education itself. This is the 12-month student visa. First, you will get your single entry visa, valid for 90 days. So basically, it takes around 8 weeks to receive the ready-made invitation. When you'll get this invitation, that means that you can contact Russian consulate service in your home country to stamp your entry visa. Okay? Then, when you'll be here in Moscow, 1 month before expiration of the single entry visa, you have to submit your documents for the a multiple entry visa for the rest of the period. So basically, the education starts on the 1st of September 2024 until August 31st, right? You can arrive in Moscow later. So let's say in October, right? Because as I already mentioned, that as practice shows, the university with the Ministry of Internal Affairs need around 8 weeks to get the approved invitation. So thus, yes, you can come a bit later, but in this case, the whole period of your stay would be a bit lower, right? So not if you would come here in October, then the whole period would be 11 months, and that's why we really recommend to start the procedure as soon as possible, so you would get more time here in Russia. About the education itself, okay? Yeah. So it's a Russian language course. So that means that you would have 3 classes per week. So 2 classes online, so you can just log in into Zoom meeting and have your lesson there, and 1 lesson in person. So you will have to go there. Actually, this is very good in terms of practicing your language skills. So you'll be enrolled to one of the groups, and they have an opportunity to go there in person on Saturdays. So if you're working online remotely, so that would be convenient, I think. You will learn Russian language, how to speak, read, write, etc., etc., and and the end of your education period, you will get the certificate of Russian language.
Wow. Yeah.
Here, that means that actually you can be enrolled to any bachelor's degree program in Russia having your Russian language certificate. So you can.
What is the university they're going to be studying at?
Well, first of all, we don't disclose this information before signing the contract, but I can tell you that this is one of the 5 top universities in state universities in Russia. So we have really reliable partners.
This is a great way, the first experience to live in Russia, basically for almost 12-month period. As soon as you get the approval from the ministry, start the language before getting the permission to enter Russia, the first one-time entry, before getting the longer one. And after that, if everything is well, you can continue on any bachelor's degree studies in Russia, for example, meaning you are able to build your life in Russia if you want to.
Yeah.
For how long bachelor's degree? Is it like 3, 4, 5 years in Russia?
It's like four years.
4.
Basically, this is the first option on how you can continue your life here in Russia. Let me tell you another option. So let's say you're here with your student visa. That means that you can apply for a quota, because any foreign citizen with any type of visa can apply for this quota. It's kind of a lottery system, but the idea is that the migration authority really checks your quota application. Right? And the good news is that before January this year, I would say like 85% of quota winners were citizens of ex-USSR countries. But right now, as our practice shows, that the situation has been changed a little bit. I mean that there are more and more quota winners from visa countries, right? So that means that here we have a service of filling out the quota application. It's only 15,000 rubles. So you pay once.
Around $150, euros.
Yeah. So you pay one time, and then you can try your luck every month, because in Moscow they accept quota applications during the first 4 days of every month, right? So of course you may win this quota using your first attempt, 5th, or you may not win it. It's also possible. So that means that you can use this opportunity to win this quota, because if you win this quota, that means that you can apply for the temporary residence permit issued for 3 years. And basically after 8 months, you can apply for a permanent residence permit issued forever, right? So that's why you can also use this opportunity with this student visa. Let's say very important aspect. So you're a student with a Russian language course. You cannot be hired officially, okay?
Yeah.
But if you would win this quota and eventually you'll get this temporary residence permit, then of course you can be hired, you can receive the minimum salary, etc., etc. So that's why it's beneficial.
Mm-hmm. I recommend anybody who's been thinking about this to grab this opportunity, because there's nothing else to be waiting for. This is it. This is like the greatest and the easiest way. So what is the first step? How can a person actually go on this process? Let's say Mr. X wants to apply to this student visa with the Braiden Consulting helping.
Yeah, first of all, just contact us and tell us that you're from Igor's channel. In this case, you will receive a 10% discount on our service, on our visa service. Then we just need your passport scan. Well, first of all, to drop the contract, right? Mm-hmm. And second document is your educational certificate or diploma. So these 2 documents, we will make the notarized translation of these documents in order to go further, right, with the case. First, we have to sign the contract with you, receive the advance payment. Then I will create a work group chat in Telegram or WhatsApp, and my colleague will be in charge of implementation of your case. So we will accompany you in our work group through the whole year, actually, so you're free to ask any questions. So basically, after around maybe 6-8 weeks, we'll send you the ready-made invitation in a form of PDF file. Okay. So that
And
means
the studies begin already. If you apply now in the beginning of August, you wait for the 8 months to get the first visa, but the studies will begin in the September. And it's
yes.
basically, is it 100% secure that a person will get there's no restrictions, or is there any reason why somebody would not be approved?
No. Actually, when you'll get your invitation, we will send you also the it's called in Russian language приказ. So basically, this document states that you've been enrolled to this Russian language program. So that means that this is one of the documents that states that you're about to learn Russian language, right? And also you'll get your contract with the university as well. Of course, it may be even faster because 8 months, this is what our practice shows. According to the law, the Ministry of Internal Affairs has 1 month in order to approve the invitation issued by the university. It may be 6-8 weeks or maybe 10 weeks, but yeah, we'll see. We'll do our best just to speed up the procedure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell you a few words about the payment procedure.
Yeah, that was my next question also.
Yeah. The total cost for education and our services is 215,000 rubles. By the way, you may join our group. There's a special group in Telegram, Braiden Services, where you can check all our offers as well as this student visa offer to get more information.
It's going to be a link in the description to that post of yours to your page on Telegram.
And there you may see the payment procedure as well. So it's 215,000 rubles.
215,000 rubles is 2,000 euros dollars approximately, right?
Yeah. This is for 1 year education and our services.
And this whole thing, all right.
Yeah, so we have 4 payments. So first we send the contract and then we receive the advance payment. Each subsequent payment is tied to a certain result. So second payment is when you get your ready-made invitation. The third payment is when you arrive in Moscow, okay? And the final payment is paid after you'll get your multiple entry visa for the rest of the period. So this is the idea.
How long can you apply? What if the person decides do you have to apply by the beginning of September, or can you apply even later?
It's still possible.
Be a little late. When is the last time when you can apply?
That would be possible if we would even start the procedure in September, but that means that, let's count September, October, right? So you can be enrolled later, let's say in early November, right? But the total term of your stay would be 10 months and not 12 months. This is the thing.
I think it's not a problem for those who want to do this. It's not about 1 or 2 months. I think so. Plus you have opportunities to continue. So that's a good information. But how long? Do you know what's the last moment? Can you enroll in January?
No, I don't think that January would be enough. Still, again, they have their educational plan, right?
Yeah.
And we as a law firm is somewhere between students and the university. Of course, they're kind of flexible with our clients, but since at the when they will finish their studies, they will get their certificate. So January it's kind of a half of academic year, some halfish, right? So it's just better to start at least in September, October. Like this is the thing. But
so if you're watching this later on in August, maybe during September, you can still apply, or even on October, but not too much later than that. If you're watching this later on.
I guess yes. So we're trying to be as flexible as it possible with our clients and with the university. So everybody's going to be happy with cooperation.
What if, just in case somebody wants to use the system wrong, what does somebody does this in order to be in Russia for 1 year? Who makes sure that people studies, or is there some kind of expectations of your process?
Yeah, very nice question. The idea is that, yes, this is the student visa for a Russian language course. You will learn Russian language from the scratch. That means that you have to attend classes, okay? If you will not attend classes, then the university, of course, will basically cancel your visa, right? So they will just send the message to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, because the purpose of your stay is learning Russian language. Of course, they're kind of flexible. I mean, yes, you have to visit them in person once a week, but later you can do it like one time per 2 weeks. They're kind of flexible. They're not harsh, but you have to attend classes. This
Same
is
as in everywhere in the world, basically. That's in every university or school. If you don't go to classes, you're gonna be noticed, and then you're gonna be you're gonna get a red flag, and then you're gonna get in trouble. So
also,
yeah, same thing here. Yeah.
Also here, a very important aspect. In Russia, we have registration procedure, right? So that means that when you arrive in Russia, you have 7 business days in order to make the temporary registration, which is very important. So you can get this registration when you check in into a hotel or hostel, or if you were planning to rent an apartment, then the landlord has to make the registration for you. And this is very important, because if, let's say, you're here and you're about to give your passport to stamp a multiple entry visa for the rest of the period, if you don't have registration, then they cannot do that, right? So please make your registration. And we always advise just to clarify with your future landlord, right, that they will eventually make the registration for you. And there is a huge black market in Russia for fake registrations. So please be aware of it. If some company may tell you that they will make you a registration, yes, they will give you like a this blank with stamps and signatures, but you will not be in the database. So that's why you really have to be registered by hotel or landlord.
I would say, as a local guide, foreigner guide in Russia, I would say maybe first go to a hotel, not hostel necessarily. If you're more not very young. If you're a bit older, don't go to hostel. Try to find a cheap hotel for the first time, first week or two, and then simultaneously go to the studies, and also try to find the apartment, because it's going to be much reserved. You'll save money. But that's Avito, right? Avito.ru is for apartment.
Avito, yes. Avito, also Cian, CIAN.ru is the one of the biggest sources.
Yeah, I will link this here as well. But hotels from ostrovok.ru, which are always
ostrovok.ru. It's kind of same as the booking.com, right? It's
exactly.
Russian.com. Also, they have different services like Yandex Путешествия. You may just Google, actually, and you'll find a lot. Посуточно.ru. Yeah, посуточно.ru. So it's Russian Airbnb, something like this.
How about so we now in the process, now we know what you're gonna get, how to apply, a little bit already starting living there. How about the money wise? I can also give tips, but since you're a representative here, you're also from Moscow. How much money should somebody reserve per month living in Moscow?
Well, I'm not a financial expert here.
You just as a person, just as a local.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we can do the old-fashioned way, right? Any foreign citizen can bring up to $10,000 or equivalent to $10,000 in cash here in Russia. Also, you can bring up to $100,000 in cash in your suitcase in Russia. But in this case, after the border control, well, let's say at the airport, you should go to the red corridor to show the declaration of this money. Yeah, it's totally possible. So you have to declare your cash, and the additional document would be some sort of bank statement, right? We need this document that states the source of this money. In this case, everything's going to be okay, and you can bring here up to $100,000. This is cash, right? Secondly, our clients, they usually use crypt options
Currency.
just to bring money here. But here, since it's really hard to predict how your Russian bank will, what would be the feedback, right? Because most of them, like I said, it's Sberbank, they're totally fine with these kind of transactions. But it's better just to ask bank managers what would be the consequences, right? Because if tomorrow you get, let's say, 50 transactions from different people who will be kind of exchange this link, they might block your account. So it's always better just to ask the bank managers in your bank application, so you will be sure that everything's going to be safe with your funds.
But how much money you need per month to live normally?
Wow.
Not at the tourist, not like normally, so that people can somehow predict this whole next 12 months if they're gonna.
It's hard to say. It depends on your lifestyle, but okay. Well, first of all, the university doesn't have the dormitory. Okay, so that means that you have to rent your apartment, maybe room, right? In Moscow, well, I think, I'm not sure, but it's like around $400 per month. I think something like this. Again, it depends on lifestyle.
Yep.
400, 500, etc. But for like $400, you can rent like a studio or one bedroom apartment in a nice area in Moscow.
Yep.
Then, well, food is cheaper than in EU. I mean,
I can help you out since I know the answer.
Yes,
the apartment was this question because in St. Petersburg, and we are talking about Moscow, but in St. Petersburg you are able to rent a room. Yes, in Russia you can also, in St. Petersburg especially, you can. That's a like Leningrad thing from Soviet times. You can rent, you can own or rent just a room in an apartment where many people live, and it's like your room. It's your house, but it's a room, and you have a common kitchen and the toilet, etc. And this is very common among certain people, younger people, or just someone who lives alone. In the center, this would cost up to 200 euros dollars max. In the central area. Elsewhere, it's gonna get cheaper. But you can also get a full apartment for 200, 300 euros on the outskirts of the city. Small 2-room, 1-room apartments. So yeah, so that's like 300 to around $500 you should have for the apartment in Moscow. But then food and everything, all the expensive, maximum 500 more. $1,000, I would say I might be a little bit wrong, but in St. Petersburg, 1,000 would be way enough for 1 month. If you shop from grocery stores and sometimes go eat like some fast food or cheaper restaurants, around 1,000 altogether.
Yeah. Totally agree here. I think the same applies to Moscow actually, with the rental prices as well as food and clubs. So I think that 1,000 would be enough. But this is
approximately
what I think.
Somebody who has a partner, a wife, or even kids, if she applies for this, is there any possibility to bring the family with, or do they have to apply normal visa?
Unfortunately, no. The universities in Russia, they don't issue accompanying visas for family members, which is silly if you're asking me, right? Because when I've been studying in the Netherlands, right? So my partner, we were not married, but she got her temporary residence permit on this legal ground. Just we're just partners. But here, even if you're married and if you have children, then unfortunately the university cannot, according to the law, cannot issue an accompanying visas. Okay, so this is so they may have like normal visas, tourist visas, or something like this.
And those who study in Russia and want to visit homeland, let's say America, Can they do this trip there and back?
Yes, once they will get the multiple entry visa, then they're free to travel, of course. But don't forget that you need to attend classes. That, of course, that's totally fine. That you may travel, no problem. But after you'll get the multiple entry visa, because the first visa for 90 days that would be a single entry visa. This is very important.
So the first step, guys, to just take more information from the link in the description, and also this. I think we're gonna have a separate link so they don't actually have to write. I come from Igor's channel. I think we're gonna have like a separate link. By the way, is this 215,000? I think the 10% discount is from legal services.
That's right.
So do you know what kind of amount of this discount amounts we are talking about? So is this 215,000 including legal? Yes, yeah. Please tell.
No, the discount would be 3,500 rubles. So our legal services 35,000 rubles.
So is this 215,000? Is that the one they have to? That's the final price, or is it?
215,000 rubles is the total cost of education and our services, and you'll get 10% discount on our legal.
So it's less than 215, right?
That's right. It's it's going to be 3,500. Again, you may join our group and check all these costs, so you'll be aware with all our prices.
About starting a life or your visit or longer stay in Russia, I have all the videos, guide videos about even finding apartments, how to behave, what not to do in Russia. All these are they are connected to this theme, but it's separate videos, so you guys have to check my video for that, because otherwise we'll be here very, very long. Getting a bank card, etc. It's all very easy, even as a tourist, as a foreigner. But if you have a student visa and you're like have a then permanent longer multiple entry visa, it's gonna get everything is very easy in Russia. Then
if you've got your boyfriend or girlfriend here in Russia having a student visa, you can totally get married here, for example. And then yes, you can apply for the temporary residence permit on this legal ground, because today it's still possible. They have this draft law, and there's a second hearing in the State Duma right now. So this draft law says that if you want to apply for the temporary residence permit on the ground of your marriage, then you have to be married at least for 2 years before you can apply for the temporary residence permit. It's still a draft law, it's not adopted, and it will become into force after 90 days, after the president would sign this law. But right now, if you've got your student visa and you're about to get married, then yes, you can get married and then apply right away for the temporary residence permit, skipping this quota procedure. To contact us, we'll be happy to help you. First, of course, we'll have the consultation just to discuss the whole procedure once again. So feel free to ask questions. And thanks a lot, Igor, and thanks a lot for your videos, because it's really important to get some sort of feedback on how to live here, right? How to open bank accounts and how to go to the metro, right?
Just to get the most out of the Russian experience. And that's the best. And thank you so much for cooperation. It's very easy for me because I get a lot of comments and questions which I don't know about, maybe legal and more technical stuff. And there's also still working this link that's in every of my video descriptions. You can use that link for a single consultation contact with Michael, Braiden Consulting company, and they can answer you. And if it needs to be proceeded, they can do the whole work with you if it needs like more attendance. So that link is in the description. And also if this thing carries on and it needs like legal actions or help that cost a little money, you can also get discount using that form. The same form you can use for free consultation. So use that to contact them on different matters. And on this subject of studying in Russia, this is a great opportunity, I think, for everybody who wants to visit Russia longer term. Try it out. Basically, you want to, first of all, you need to want to learn Russian, yes, but this is a great opportunity to connect with your girlfriend or boyfriend, start a life even. This is like the gateway to that. Those who want to just experience Russia for a longer time. And it's a great thing that you study Russia, because if you study Russian, you are able to see Russia in reality. Same thing with people. People are really cold. Foreigners think Russians are really cold. But as soon as they say something in Russian, everything changes, and they understand that Russian people are very hospitable, nice, and great people. So, yes.
Totally agree here. Yeah, truth.
And you get the best experiences unexpectedly, usually, when you just start. Somebody talks to you and you say something back. It's a whole different adventures. This is great. And guys, write down in the comments what you think about this, and contact me, but especially Michael, through this form in the description for more information, and check out the Telegram program. Thank you so much, Michael, for your time. And for this is I'm genuinely happy. I just hope this reaches as many people who are interested. And please, guys, share this also with your friends who wanted to study Russia or experience Russia, or both.
Igor, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks a lot, and bye everyone. See you here in Moscow. Yeah.